Afternoon, Pep.
Afternoon.
Hey, yeah. Back-to-back wins for the first time since October and a full week to prepare for Cardiff. How's the atmosphere been this week?
Very similar to last week. A lot of confidence, a lot of positivism in the squad, a lot of hard work we've done, working on our game for Saturday, and knowing that we owe a very good performance to our fans on Saturday, and we want to show in St Andrews that we put that run behind. Obviously, we put with two back-to-back wins, but those 3 points on Saturday will get us very close to safe numbers, and will give us even more confidence ahead of a very tough game. So very good week and a lot of preparation, and obviously with a very good mentality to compete on Saturday.
Do you sense that the confidence is starting to seep back into the players given the last two results?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I saw it last week. I think the Blackburn one was a critical one because the team had to do a lot of things to make sure that we got a win there, and the game last week proved that the team has that confidence back on them, and this week has been with the same mentality, same attitude. We know the importance of that game. We know how we need to play it as well. We know it's got to be a little bit different than Luton, where we had to do a lot of, we had to be very, very strong defensively, and especially after the first goal, then puts the game a little bit different. But we know that here, and being at home, we need to keep progressing in what we want to do and achieve. But what we did in Luton is very important for us as well, because we can't neglect the football is 4 moments during the game, either if you have the ball or you don't have the ball, and then either you're transiting or you're defending, or you're attacking, or you're transiting to defend. So in Luton we proved very, very good in the defensive moment and in both transitions, offensively and defensively. And the offensive part, it was a tough game because we knew the pitch was not going to be perfect for that. So we took it a little bit more cautious, and now at home, and we know the opposition is different. Obviously, those 4 moments are going to be different, but those are very, very important, and we need to make sure that we prepare for the both of them.
Is that the case? Then you have to be pragmatic depending on the conditions and who your opponent are. We saw a very different style of play against Luton to what the club's trying to develop. But is it a case of flicking between the two at times?
Yes, absolutely. Because in the end of the day, look, there's no one more proud for the identity that we are building. There's no one more proud than the players and myself, and obviously the whole club. There's no one more proud of that. And it's our job to be smart enough to be tweaking and to be flexible and to be adapting our style to every other condition that we face in the competition, because in the end of the day, the championship is relentless, and it's about trying to make sure that you are in a situation that you can get the 3 points every week. And sometimes you need to tweak a few things. We've shown a very good identity when it comes to the offensive part of the game early in the season, up till Christmas. But we've been solid as well most part of the season. We've been solid, apart from the Christmas period. We've been solid. So the defensive side's been good. But we had a lot of work to do on the defensive transition and on the offensive transition to make sure that we could set identity. Because when you win a ball back from defensive position, you need to make sure that you hurt the opposition. Because otherwise it's playing for them. And I think we showed that in Luton, we showed that in Blackburn, and the team has been working very hard to add this into our DNA. When we are in an offensive phase, we need to keep believing in the football that we produced. But when we are in the defensive moment, we need to be defending a little bit stronger than what we've done during the Christmas, of course. And when we win the ball, we need to be prepared to hurt the opposition as much as possible before we build the offensive. And when we lose the ball, we need to be prepared to make sure that the opposition cannot hurt us. And this is something that the team has been working very, very hard on the last month and a half. Now, with the squad kind of fully back, everyone almost back, we could say that all this work that we've put us into a situation to be flexible, to be tweaking things, to make sure that we're competitive on every game, and then we try to get as many points as possible so we are safe as soon as possible, and then we keep building. That's our mentality. And we know our identity, we're proud of it, we know where we are working, but it's early days, and some days it work better, some days it doesn't work that good, so we need to make sure that we keep growing as a whole, and we are proud of the work that we're doing. I think I mentioned before, I think I was a little bit worried this season. The only moment that I've been worried is after we draw 3 games against Huddersfield, against Sheffield, and against Millwall. Worried because we were not getting a yield in goals offensively, and we had to come up with a lot of more resources to make sure that we had more chances to score goals, because we were having a good football, we were having a lot of shots, we were having a lot of chances, but we were not yielding from those chances, and that's something that as a coach you're always very worried, because you know that as soon as the tide turns and you leak 1 goal, it turns a very difficult game. We did have results during this period. We did have results because at the end of the day we didn't lose those games, 2 of them away, so it's good points. But I'm sure the fans will agree with me that at that moment the team looked like we need to be better going forward. And I'm not talking about the fact of bringing strikers or bringing players that can always make a difference, of course. I'm talking about how we use our resources to make sure that we get forward a little bit better. And I think the team has been doing a fantastic job adding this into our identity, into our football. And now we are a team that we're scoring goals because we haven't neglected 2 very important parts of the game. And it's the counter-attacks and it's the transitions, and slowly we are building. It's a very slow process, yes. The important thing is that we take steps in the right direction. It's very important in the championship to have everyone fit and available. Otherwise, you can always get in a bad run, not us, everyone. And Saturday is a fantastic opportunity for us to show the fans that we are in the track that we want to be, and we look to add more points. That was a long answer, but I think it helps.
Is that part of your development as a head coach, Pep, having to identify that at the back of those 3 games something wasn't quite right, and being brave enough to go and tweak it and change that? Right?
Yes, absolutely. Because in the end of the day, like, I've been in this business for 20 years, right? And you kind of foresee a little bit situations before it could happen. I think that's a little bit the edge, that you need to use to make sure that you can be better. All fans could say, possibly they were all happy that we had a good point against Huddersfield and that we had a good point against Sheffield. Not that happy that we had a point against Millwall at home, because you want to win every home game, that's clear, same as me. But I want to win home and away always. I want to win always and then win again and win again and win again. But it's important to recognize where can we be better and what is the future, foreseen future that you have the feeling. End of the day, right now we're scoring 1.2 goals per game. Average, the whole season. Last season we scored 1.39. Obviously everyone knows that we had a fantastic goal scorer here last season, adding goals into that. But it's important for us that since we put that work and we all made a massive effort analyzing and seeing and foreseeing how we can be better, now we are on an average of 2 goals per game. So we're catching up on that goal difference that we have this season from last season. And in the end of the day, that's the work of a coach. And for that, I'm very happy. Sometimes it works better, sometimes it works not that good, because it's always the volatility and you play against opposition, but the steady improvement is there. Unfortunately, we've been leaking a few goals during Christmas that could not show the yielding points that we wanted. But luckily, the team has put that behind, and now we won 2 games in a row and want to keep progressing against a very tough opposition and keep showing our fans that we're taking the right steps in the right direction and that we grow into our identity and we evolve.
Cardiff next up at St Andrews, a side who have experienced a mixed bag of results of late. What are you expecting from them?
I'm expecting a very competitive game, a very strong Cardiff, who's a club that was in the Premier League last season, got promoted season before. They had a lot of resources available to configure a team last season in the Premier League and this season as well. A team that could afford the luxury of playing a very strong team in the middle of the week and still rest some very important players. So we are foreseeing a very similar team as they had against Swansea on the weekend. So this shows the power of their squad, the level of their players, and although they have some injuries that I think it has affected them a little bit in some areas, but I do think the squad is very strong and it's very clear how they're playing. I think Neil Harris has put his mark into the team, his stamp, and they have individual players who are very dangerous, and obviously as a team is a very competitive team. So it's a very difficult game for us, but we play at home, and I'm sure that together with the fans we create a good atmosphere. We'll put it not only difficult for them, but of course I have a lot of confidence that we can win, and we need to chase the 3 points, and that's what you do in football.
Harley Dean, of course, suspended, which disrupts that back line again. Does it give you a bit of a selection headache on Saturday?
Well, we have, still not a bit early to decide, but Matt Roberts has been training the whole week, and that's very good news for us. We don't know if he will be available, but that's a situation. So if he's available and he can do it, we will be like helping him to get to the standards that he was using before he got injured, and then crack on.
Ivan Sunjic, of course, can return now following his suspension. How impressed have you been with Ivan, and how quickly he's adapted to English football? Yeah, it's
been even. It's not easy to come to English football and especially to the Championship, because I think there's English football and there's the Championship, because even the League One and League Two, they suffer the same problem. There's a lot of games in short spaces, and it's very difficult to maintain your performance levels, games in and game out, and that requires a lot of experience. I think he's learned that and managed very well his moments, and he's proven already this season how good he is and how good he will be, not only now but as well for the future of the club. So all our support for him.
You've already mentioned Mark Roberts. How's Michael Kieftenbell doing?
He's been training with us the whole week, so it's nice to see him. We hope that he can feature for some under-23 games soon, and he's been doing the whole training with us today, and no problems with the knee, so it's about speeding up a little bit his fitness levels and make sure that he can be ready to help us as soon as possible.
In terms of movement in the transfer market, are we any closer to bringing anyone in or anyone going out the other way?
At the moment, the news is that there's no news. The club hasn't communicated me nothing. So when it comes to players out, we are on the same squad as we were last week. And when it comes to players in, there's no news yet.
Finally, from me, it was confirmed that Coventry City will, of course, be our opponents in the next round of the FA Cup. I just wanted to get your thoughts on whether you'll be treating this as an away game in terms of preparation on the day.
Yes.
So you'll gather the players as normal and be a trip?
Yes, because end of the day, and I speak now, of course, on behalf of Birmingham City, we have a deal with Coventry for the use of the stadium, and coincidence have set up that we play away at home. We don't control coincidence, and we don't control the draws. So, but what we do control is our word, and we honor our agreements. And as a club, they have the use of the stadium. We're playing at their place, although it's our place, and we're going to our place that is their place, but we'll treat it like it's their place, not our place.
Nice one.
No worries.